Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we will be looking at locus of control as an explanation of resistance to social influence, which you need to know for AQA A-level psychology in the subtopic of social influence. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. Let's get started. Locus of control is an explanation of resistance to social influence and an internal, personality, factor proposed by Rotter, 1966, who argued that an individual's sense of personal control over events in their life can be measured using a scale. It suggests that defiance, resistance, disobedience, and nonconformity is more likely to occur if a person has an internal locus of control. A person with an internal locus of control believes they have free will and control over their life and therefore are personally responsible for the choices and decisions they make. They are more self-confident, more achievement-oriented, have higher intelligence and are less concerned with social approval. They are also more independent and find it easier to resist social influence than those with an external locus of control and therefore are more likely to resist pressure to conform and obey. A person with an external locus of control believes they have no free will and no control over their life, with outside factors such as luck and fate influencing their daily lives and decisions, and therefore they feel as though they are not personally responsible for events that occur within their lives. They are less self-confident, less achievement-orientated, have lower intelligence and are more concerned with social approval. They are also less independent and find it harder to resist social influence and therefore are less likely to be able to resist pressures to conform or obey. Locus of control has several strengths and limitations. A strength of locus of control as an explanation of resistance to social influence is that there is research to support the internal LOC being an explanation to resist conformity. A strength of locus of control as an explanation of resistance to social influence is that there is research to support the internal locus of control being an explanation to resist conformity. Spector, 1983, used Rotter's locus of control scale to assess 157 university students to determine whether locus of control is associated with conformity. Spector found that individuals with a high internal locus of control were less likely to conform than those with a high external locus of control. This is a strength because it suggests that an individual's belief in their own control over outcomes and events can serve as a protective factor against succumbing to societal pressures to conform. By recognizing and valuing their internal control, individuals are more likely to resist conformity, highlighting the power of personal autonomy in navigating social influence. However, Spector found that this was only in situations of normative social influence, where individuals conform to be accepted. There was no difference between the two groups for informational social influence, where people were unsure how to behave. This suggests people with a high need for acceptance, e.g. students who may wish to want to fit in among peer groups, are more likely to conform than those with less need for acceptance who are more able to resist. This is a limitation because it suggests that the locus of control is only a limited explanation for social influence resistance during situations where individuals feel they need to fit in and not necessarily neutral situations where they do not stand to lose anything from resistance. A strength of locus of control as an explanation of resistance to social influence is that there is research to support the link between locus of control and resistance to obedience. Holland, 1967, repeated Milgram's baseline study and measured whether participants were internals or externals. He found that 37% of the internals did not continue to the highest shock level, i.e. they showed some resistance, whereas only 23% of externals did not continue. In other words, internals showed greater resistance to authority in a Milgram-type situation. This is a strength because it suggests that individuals with an internal locus of control are more inclined to resist authority, as evidenced by Holland's, 1967, study replicating Milgram's baseline experiment. The findings highlight the correlation between one's locus of control orientation and their ability to resist obedience in challenging situations, shedding light on the impact of internal beliefs on behavior in authoritative settings. However, Rotter, 1982, points out that locus of control is not necessarily the most important factor in determining whether someone resists social influence. Locus of control's role depends on the situation. A person's locus of control only significantly affects their behavior in new situations. If a person has conformed or obeyed in a specific situation in the past, there is a high chance that they will conform or obey in that same situation again regardless of whether they have high internal or high external locus of control. This is a limitation because it suggests that an individual's past behaviors in specific situations may have a more substantial impact on their future responses than their locus of control orientation, as highlighted by Rotter, 1982. This suggests that while locus of control is a factor, it may not always be the most influential determinant of behavior in social influence scenarios. A limitation of locus of control as an explanation of resistance to social influence is that there is research that challenges the link between locus of control and resistance. Jean Twenge et al., 2004, analyzed data from American locus of control studies conducted over a 40-year period, from 1960 to 2002. The data showed that, over this time span, people became more resistant to obedience but also more external. This is a surprising outcome. If resistance was linked to an internal locus of control, then it would be expected that people would become more internal. This is a limitation because it suggests that despite the increase in resistance to obedience over time, individuals have also become more external in their locus of control orientation, contradicting the expected association between resistance and an internal locus of control. This discrepancy challenges the traditional understanding of the relationship between locus of control and resistance to authority, emphasizing the need for a more nuanced perspective on these dynamics. A strength of locus of control as an explanation of resistance to social influence is that there is research to support locus of control application in real-world situations. Oliner et al., 1988, found that when investigating why certain groups resisted social pressure during Nazi Germany and protected Jewish people, those who rescued people had a high internal locus of control as well as scoring high for social responsibility. This is a strength because it suggests that individuals with a strong internal locus of control and a sense of social responsibility are more likely to exhibit courageous and morally upright behaviors, even in the face of intense societal pressures and challenging circumstances. The findings from Oliner et al.'s study shed light on the powerful influence of internal beliefs and a sense of duty towards others in driving individuals to take noble and altruistic actions, offering valuable insights into the real-world application of locus of control theory in understanding human behavior and decision-making in critical situations. A limitation of locus of control as an explanation of resistance to social influence is that there is research to suggest that the explanation is not conclusive. Williams et al. Studied 30 university students over various conformity-based tasks. Assessing them using Rotter's locus of control scale, they were found to have little difference between them according to Rotter's LOC scale, however display differences in conformity. The main difference noted between them was how assertive they were, with those who conformed less having greater assertiveness skills than those who conformed more. This is a limitation because it suggests that assertiveness may be a better explanation for why people resist social influences than locus of control, especially in regards to conformity-based scenarios. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye.